Shalom, this is Yawanathan with the men of Valor Camp. Want to give all praises to the Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, double honors to the elders, and shouts to the elect and those that's pushing through their demons. So let's starve our demons. I'll try our best to. We all know we're under quarantine right now with this COVID-19 situation. Prayers and blessings and mercy, if it be the Lord will, to those that may be going through things, within this situation. And Lord willing, we're able to prevail. I kind of just had some random things or random thoughts today. And one of them is this. The Lord, he's not a respecter of persons. If I could just put it that way. And this is, I'm looking in James chapter 2. He said, let's see. But if ye have, so this is talking about like us, because it's really, the scripture is talking about respecting and reverencing people, it looks like. But it says, and this is James chapter 2, verse 9. But if ye have respect to persons, ye commit sin, and are convinced of the law as transgressors. For whoever shall keep the whole law, and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of all. For he that saith, do not commit adultery, also say, do not kill. Now, if thou commit no adultery, yet if thou kill, thou art become a transgressor of the law. So speak ye and so do, as they, thou shalt be judged by the law of liberty. And one moment here, let me just find this too. Salat, just maybe think of something if I can find. Okay, maybe that's what it is. I don't think that's another. There's another one here. I can kind of, give a back to this, but this is Matthew 12 and 36. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. Even our thoughts, and I know sometimes our thoughts come on some wickedness, some blasphemy shit, some bullshit, and we got to be accountable for it too. And it's scary, but nonetheless, it is what it is. We just gotta try to think better thoughts, try to be wiser and be slow to speak. Let me see if I can find anything else that has anything else here. Ecclesiastes 10 and 12. The words of a wise man's mouth are gracious, but the lips of a fool shall swallow him up. But you guys kind of get the point there. Just for the most part, man, be mindful of what you're saying. So ye speak, so ye do. So do as you say. Even though the term in the world, because we all can be weak and we can all have demons and we can all have not the same measure of faith or discipline. So speak ye. So in the world is do as I say, do it not as I do. And we gotta figure out a way to speak and do, and not be hypocrites. I've been a hypocrite. I've been one. I have. And it's not a matter of wanting to be that. It's not a matter of not caring. It's just sometimes you don't have the control. Sometimes the demon, takes over, and you gotta find a way to fight it. You gotta find a way to get it out, to not let it win. So starve your demons. But he says, for he shall have judgment without mercy, that have showed no mercy, and mercy rejoiceth against judgment. What doth it profit? There we go. My brethren, though a man say he have faith and not works, can faith save him? So we gotta be doers. So I know what the scripture I was looking for. I know exactly what I was looking for now. One moment, it's not. Okay, so Actually, it's in James, the first chapter. So this is James 1, 22 and 25. But be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. And sometimes we can deceive our own selves. I've deceived myself before. Um, you try you try to convince yourself, but you got things that you need to work on. You got demons that you need to pull off, that you need to get up out of here, man. And so be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. Um, for any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. For he holdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth the manner of man he was. But whoso looketh until the perfect law of liberty, and continue therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deed. And I know I took time off, just mentally, trying to get my mind right, and my spirit right, and just my emotions right. Well, also because I work too, but I just I just wasn't mentally here, and I'm gonna be dealt with for that. Um, but nonetheless, we got to be examples to other brothers and be lessons to other brothers. So just we got to be more of a doer. Um, and Lord willing, I get that get my shit down pat. But this is for brothers to know that you're not alone, and that we all got to get our shit down pat, and we all fuck up. But that's what I wanted to hear. To hear it, to see the hearers and doers. Um, it says and this is back to James, the second chapter, verse 15. If a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you say unto them, depart in peace, be ye warned and filled, notwithstanding ye give them not those things which are needful to the body, what doth it profit? Even so, faith it hath not works is dead, being alone. So, and I can go to that scripture. Faith without works. So I'm not the swordsman here. Not the swordsman. So this is still in James. So I just go up a few lines. No, I can just continue. Even so, if have not works, is dead, being alone. Yea, and men say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without works, and I will show you thy faith by my works. Thou believest that there is one God, thou doest well. The devil also believes and tremble. So just because we believe, just because we have faith, doesn't mean that we're exempt, or that we can't, that we don't have to do work or help brothers. Because I'm always adamant about this. Like, everybody don't have the same measure of faith. Everybody's not a prophet. Everybody's not the same. Like, the Lord gives different measures of faith to people. Of course, the righteous are as bold as a lion, but nonetheless, the Lord, if you're sincere and Lord willing, we become that. Because, like I said, I felt like I've struggled with that in the past, but Lord willing, we become that. The Lord will help us with that. So yeah, but the devil, the Satan, the demons, they believe that there's a God too. They believe that there's a higher power. So, and they tremble and they fear him. So us believing that's just half the battle. But wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead? Was not Abraham our father justified by works when he had offered Isaac his son up to the altar? Seest thou hath faith wrought with his works, and by works was faith made perfect. And the scripture was fulfilled, which saith, Abraham believed God, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness, and he was called the friend of God. Ye see then now that by works a man is justified, and not by faith only. Likewise, also, not Rahab the harlot justified by works? Was not Rahab the harlot justified by works when she had received the messengers, and had sent them out another way? For also I'm sorry, for as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also. So I mean, it just repeats and it's adamant. But James the second chapter lets us know that we got to put in work. When you in the game, you got to put in work. When you play basketball, you got to put in work. When you play football, you got to put in work. When you rap, you got to put in work. There's nothing that you're gonna get that'll be worth it or that'll sustain itself if you don't put the work in. And I'm talking to myself, So that's that on that. And the crazy part, because this is where I first began. Even with all that, with us doing work and faith, if in having faith, we still aren't promised mercy. We still aren't guaranteed mercy because God don't owe us that. The Most High don't owe us that. And actually, this is what scripture I was looking at, Isaiah 64:6. But we are all as an unclean thing, and all our righteousness are filthy rags. And we all do fade as a leaf, and our iniquities, like the wind, have taken us away. And just like, if you're talking about some shit, like, we only really good because of Abraham. Because God made his promise to Abraham. We only good because of his works. So he put in so much work and he showed so much faith that we Gucci off of his work to at least have a chance. Not a guarantee that we make it. I mean, of course, all of Israel will be saved we'll be in the kingdom at some point. But not that first go around. That first go around is for those elected 144,000. But even the elect, even the 144,000 and the multitude and all that, it says all our righteousness are filthy rags. And we do so all of it. It doesn't even matter. Like, really, like, what we doing for the Most High, he still kind of like, fuck that. But he still fuck with us. Like, so I say this, man, just pray for mercy, but more importantly, let's figure out more ways to do work, even when we're in this quarantine. Like I said, I can't make up for the time that I wasn't out there when I was working or when I was going through things, and other brothers was working or going through things, but they still was there, so that's no excuse for me. But nonetheless, we got to figure out a way, and I'm not trying to just blow smoke, and we got to figure out a way. And again, I'm here to be an example. So whether I be a good example or a bad example, I'm an example. Whether it be of what to do or what not to do. I mean, that's what it is. We got to be here and be examples for brothers. Just looking at like Saul is his example in a negative way, and I don't want to be like Saul, so I don't want to liken myself like that because there's life and death in the power of the tongue. But Saul, he fell, and he was an example of something bad. David technically was an example of something bad, although most of his stuff was righteous. It was just that one heinous thing he did. Noah, his righteousness, his faithfulness. That's a good example. Judas is a bad example. There's countless examples and things for us in the scriptures, and it just says, and I'll just close out with this. 1 second here. So Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for aforetime were written for our learning, that we may, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, may have hope. So that's that. All this stuff has been written. Like, I know that's corny, but I feel like saying it. Preem dropped that. I gave you power last night, and it was kind of dope. So made me think of that. But for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures may have hope. So keep hope. just keep having hope, keep having faith. Um, Keep looking at the examples. Keep your eyes and your ears open to what's going on in the world. And let's try to be better. Whether it be for the next man, whether it be for your brother, whether it be just be for yourself. Just let's try to be better as men with this knowledge and this understanding and this wisdom, because most people don't have this, and they don't have the stumbling blocks, and we have to appreciate it. And I know I've been guilty of not coveting it and not coveting, but appreciating it the way I should have. And like I said, for whatever my iniquities, whatever my sins are, I have to be accountable, and I will be dealt with it for my actions or lack of actions, or whatever the case may be, whatever the Most High see fit. But we still pray for mercy. We still pray for forgiveness, and Lord willing, we beat our demons, we starve our demons, if it be the Lord's will. And it's not easy, but we got to put away that old man. Actually, I'll figure that one. I'll finish with that one. One second here. Let me just look that up. So, like I said, I'm not a swordsman like that. Okay, so Ephesians 4:22 and 20 through 24, that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind, and that ye put on a new man which after God is created in righteousness and true holiness. So it's hard, to put away the old man, because you sometimes you just want to be yourself. Sometimes you want to be you. Sometimes you don't feel like you. But we gotta put away the old man, or figure out a way to balance it better. Because it's coming into a time where certain things is not going to be important. I speak to myself first. But again, pray for mercy, pray for forgiveness, pray for your brothers. And until next time, Lord willing, man, we figure out a way to do better with the works. And whether it be being charitable, whether it be donating, whether it be tithing, just trying to be a help to the cause. And Lord willing, the Lord brings you in a direction where where you can do better, where I can do better, if it be His will. And until next time, Shalom.